They said it was progress, as though knowledge were a soft light and not a fire fed too often by human breath. Under the guise of innovation, a better life, the greater good, hands that trembled or did not tremble enough traced the borders of ignorance across living skin, and somewhere between curiosity and intent, a line blurred, then vanished. Before certainty, there were guesses. Before protocols, there were hands trying and failing to understand. Before clinical textbooks were bound and diagrams found their clean lines, there were bodies. Within public walls of healing, of learning, they were opened so pathways could be drawn, organs mapped, treatment refined. Not all of them offered, not all of them asked. In private enclosures, in darker establishments, the boundaries stretched further. Yet, findings that should have been buried with their makers still found their way into classrooms. And yet, from muscle and marrow, from nerves traced like fragile threads, we learned what lies beneath skin. We learned where pain begins, where blood flows, where life hides in quiet, intricate systems. The unconsenting, the unnamed, the unremembered gave life to knowledge. Some were examined longer than they should have been. Some became demonstrations, their names replaced by diagrams. Instruments, now polished and routine, once began as questions asked upon the vulnerable. The same questions gave rise to remedies, what we swallow, what we trust, what we accept as treatment. All of it refined where consent fell silent, guided by hands that measured more than they felt, toward what we now call science. There were rooms where suffering was observed instead of eased, where time was allowed to run its course just to see what it would do, where questions were valued more than comfort, where data stood in place of humanity and answers came slowly, cruelly, at a cost no one there was meant to carry. There were minds studied in unimaginable ways, mapped by suffering too deep to name. Pain pushed past limits in the name of discovery. Lines crossed quietly, systematically, as if knowledge could excuse the method. And still we learned. About memory, about fear, about the fragile architecture of thought, but not without leaving something broken behind. This weight does not belong only to the distant past. Quieter tragedies linger, less spoken, more familiar. There were early hands, young, uncertain, guided by books that did not yet know enough, incisions made with hope, with courage, with incomplete understanding. Some healed, some did not. Some lives became lessons too late for the ones who lived them, if they did. There were those who trusted experience, voices steady, decisions confident, until certainty stood where caution should have been, and harm arrived not from ignorance, but from belief that there was nothing left to learn. There were trials, carefully named, carefully measured, but not always carefully felt. People who said yes without knowing what yes meant. People who said yes because there was no other option. People who said yes because someone in a white coat told them this might help. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't, and sometimes the cost was written into their bodies long after the study ended. And even now, in bright hospitals with polished floors and precise machines, medicine is still learning, still adjusting, still revising, still discovering what it once got wrong. There are still moments when we do not know enough, still decisions made in uncertainty, still outcomes we wish we could undo. So this is not a celebration of progress. It is a remembrance of its price, that behind every guideline, every medication, every practiced hand, there are echoes of lives that should have been more than a step toward understanding. Life for knowledge, and knowledge must never forget what it cost to be known.